if I told you one lawsuit could change the future of Mortal Kombat and maybe even Injustice 3? Today, we're breaking down what's actually happening between Paramount and Warner Bros., what it means for NetherRealm Studios, and whether fans should be worried. What's up, HolyVenom family? Welcome to the place where faith, fandom, and gaming collide. If you're someone who loves God, gaming, Marvel, anime, or anything nerd culture, you're not alone. This is a community where you can be yourself and enjoy the things you love. I just want to say, no matter what you're facing this week, keep fighting the good fight. Now let's jump into today's adventure. A coalition of 12 states led by California filed an antitrust lawsuit to block Paramount's $110 billion acquisition of Warner Bros. Discovery. The lawsuit alleges the merger violates the Clayton Act by creating a monopoly that would lessen competition, drive up prices for consumers, and harm entertainment workers. The lawsuit and antitrust concerns. The states argue that if the merger is allowed to proceed, the combined entity would control nearly one-third of the domestic theatrical motion picture market and basic cable television programming. The lawsuit specifically focuses on three major areas of anti-competitive concern. 1. Wide-release theatrical film distribution. The merged company would control roughly 27% of this market, limiting the ability of theaters to negotiate terms. 2. Anticipated blockbuster films. The combined Titan would control over 30% of high-budget, top-grossing anticipated blockbusters. 3. Basic cable licensing. Consolidating. Paramount and Warner Bros. Discovery would significantly reduce leverage for cable and satellite providers. Regulatory disagreement and industry reaction. This multi-state action creates a unique legal battle because the U.S. Department of Justice already approved the merger in mid-June, determining it was not likely to harm competition or American consumers. The coalition of states, which includes Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, and Washington, is seeking an injunction and temporary restraining order to halt the transaction. Paramount has pledged to vigorously defend the merger, calling the state's legal challenge fundamentally flawed. Conversely, the Writers Guild of America and other industry advocates have praised the lawsuit, expressing concern the consolidation will result in job losses, lower wages for creatives, and less variety in programming. The 12-state antitrust lawsuit creates a period of intense financial uncertainty for NetherRealm Studios, but the games themselves, including the recently teased Injustice 3 and the confirmed next Mortal Kombat game, are highly likely to remain in active development because the antitrust lawsuit focuses almost entirely on theatrical film distribution and basic cable. The gaming division is not the target of the legal book. The pending merger and subsequent lawsuit affect the games in several ways. 1. Active development continues in limbo. The lawsuit asks Paramount and Warner Bros. To hold off on closing the merger until the litigation concludes. While executives deal with court proceedings, daily operations at Warner Bros. Games will continue under its current structure. Injustice 3 status. Production is unlikely to halt. Recent teases and hints from franchise creatives point to Injustice 3 as the studio's next major game. Mortal Kombat status. NetherRealm Development Chief Ed Boon recently confirmed that another Mortal Kombat game is officially in the works. Game development cycles take years, so the creative teams will keep working regardless of who owns the parent company. 2. Paramount high valuations versus massive budget cuts. If the lawsuit fails and Paramount successfully acquires Warner Bros. Discovery, the new leadership's financial strategy will directly impact NetherRealm. The good news. Paramount CEO David Ellison has heavily emphasized that, quote, cutting-edge gaming, end quote, is a core creative engine for the combined company's future. They even recently launched an in-house Paramount game studio to integrate gaming more deeply into their core content strategy. They actively want to keep and leverage massive gaming IPs like Mortal Kombat and DC Universe games. The bad news. Ellison is reportedly looking to carve out at least $6 billion in cost savings to make the merger work. Industry analysts have raised concerns that such steep cuts could force downsizing, smaller development budgets, or layoffs across Warner Bros. Gaming studios to offset the multi-billion-dollar price tag on the merger. 3. Delays to reveal timelines. The legal battle means that corporate strategies are currently in flux. While games like Injustice 3 are rumored to be preparing for announcements, big marketing campaigns and official reveals might be intentionally held back or delayed until the corporate ownership structure and budget constraints are legally settled out in courts. When a massive corporate shakeup like a merger happens, it triggers a domino effect that impacts studios long before a game hits shelves. Even if developers keep coding, corporate shifts alter everything from game's budget to how it's marketed. Here is exactly how ownership changes or legal delays could impact upcoming games. Shifting corporate priorities. Every CEO has a different vision for what makes money. The risk. A new parent company might decide to pivot away from traditional high-budget console games to focus on heavily mobile games or free-to-play live service models. The impact. This can force a studio to fundamentally redesign an upcoming game like Injustice 3 midway through development to add more microtransactions or ongoing monetization features. Budget freezes and cuts. Mergers are incredibly expensive and companies often take on massive debt to pull them off. The risk. To pay down that debt, new management frequently demands immediate company-wide cost savings. The impact. For a game in development, this can mean sudden budget cuts, hiring freezes, or layoffs. Studios are forced to cut features, scrap planned DLC, or ship a less polished product because they lack the resources they were originally promised. Licensing and IP tangles. Games based on existing properties depend entirely on legal contracts. The risk. Injustice relies on DC comic characters, which are owned by Warner Bros. If a merger changes the corporate structure, all existing internal licensing agreements must be audited, renegotiated, or legally transferred. The impact. Legal teams can lock down projects for months to ensure no copyright laws are violated under the new entity, completely halting a game's marketing or release until the ink dries on the new contracts. Distorted release schedules. A game's release date is rarely chosen by the developers. It is dictated by corporate financial calendars. The risk. During a prolonged legal delay or ownership transition, executives are often in limbo and hesitant to greenlight massive multi-million-dollar marketing campaigns. The impact. A parent company might intentionally push a game's release date back into the next fiscal year just to make sure their future financial reports look better for Wall Street investors. Alternatively, they might rush an unfinished game out the door to early generate quick cash to appease nervous shareholders. Possibly, but nothing has been confirmed. Potential impacts include marketing plans changing, management restructuring, budget approvals taking longer, release window shifting. There has been no official announcement that the next Mortal Kombat game has been delayed because of the lawsuit.
Injustice is even more dependent on Warner Bros. Because of the DC license. If Warner's corporate situation changes, DC game decisions could also change. Again, there is no confirmation that Injustice 3 has been canceled or delayed. This is simply a possibility based on how mergers often affect long-term projects. A balanced conclusion. NetherRealm has survived corporate changes before. Mortal Kombat remains one of Warner Bros.' biggest gaming franchises. Warner Bros. Has previously identified Mortal Kombat and DC as core gaming properties. That means the franchises are likely to remain important regardless of the merger's outcome, though release timing could be influenced if the legal battle drives on. If the courts dismiss the lawsuit or allow the deal to move forward, things likely continue as planned. Mortal Kombat, NetherRealm Studios, and any future DC games, including a potential Injustice 3, will probably stay on their current development paths. There could still be some internal changes fans likely wouldn't notice much beyond the normal game development process. Probability, possible. This is the outcome I think fans should pay attention to, even if the merger eventually goes through. A lengthy legal battle could slow down major business decisions. That doesn't necessarily mean the next Mortal Kombat or Injustice 3 would stop development. The marketing plans, budgets, and release schedules could be pushed back while executives wait for the legal situation to be resolved. If you've been wondering why we haven't heard much about NetherRealm Studios' next game, this kind of corporate uncertainty is one possible reason, but it's important to remember that this is speculation, not a confirmed explanation. If the courts permanently block the merger, Warner Bros. Discovery would need to rethink its long-term strategy. That could mean restructuring divisions, changing investment priorities, or revisiting how it handles its gaming business. Mortal Kombat is Warner Bros' strongest gaming franchises, so it's unlikely to disappear, but the direction of future projects, including an Injustice 3 possibility, could change depending on the company's new plans. Again, there is no evidence that Mortal Kombat or Injustice 3 are canceled. This scenario is about what could happen if the legal battle dramatically changes Warner Bros' business strategy. So, what do I think? I don't believe Mortal Kombat is in danger of disappearing. It's one of Warner Bros' biggest gaming franchises and consistently sells millions of copies. The bigger question isn't if we'll get another one, it's when, and whether this legal battle changes the timeline. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think this lawsuit will have no impact on NetherRealm Studios? Or could it delay the next Mortal Kombat or Injustice 3? Let me know in the comments. If you feel like you finally found people who love the same things you do, join the Holy Venom family. You can find us in Discord with the link in the description, or on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Don't forget to click on the pinned comment for Holy Venom merchandise. If you ever felt like you've had to choose between your faith and the things you enjoy, I hope Holy Venom reminds you that you don't have to. You're always welcome here. Check out this next video for more content.